So Demon Girl was played by actress/model Devay Chase. Would you like to know what she's up to now?
I think she got too invested in her role as the Demon Girl. It's like Heath Ledger. You know, he became the Joker. She was probably just hiding in people's wells, trying to kill them
because there were drugs down there.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to the 45-minute broken up monologue for $10 only. Call PMZ.
No, down here, he has too many 6 days and he needs
Come on, hold that note on the bottom. I wouldn't pay for it.
I need two people to sing to cover up what my lack of rhythm. What do you call it?
Harmony?
Harmony.
Harmonizing?
But there's like a word. I'm tone deaf is what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, then there's no helping you.
And I don't even think that's true, actually. I just lack confidence in my voice, but sometimes I nail it.
Do you sing in the shower?
Yes. Loudly. Bump, bump, bump.
If you had a kid, you'd be a MILF. MILF, MILF, MILF.
Bump. I could have you singing in probably about 3 weeks if you put some energy towards it.
I have other things that I want to put my energy towards.
Understood.
But one day maybe. What do you got for us today, Patty? Oh, by the way, welcome. Dylan is out of town. He's in Mexico. Spoiler alert, he did get a passport. Go to the Patreon-only APS to hear about that harrowing tale. But since he's not here, we're going to treat you guys. And this is our premium property. It's
argumentatively the best show. Yeah, arguably the best show on another podcast network.
Arguably the worst, but it no doubt has a premium price. You can only get this if you're on the Bird of War $10 tier at patreon.com/another podcast network. Except for today, we're giving it to you for free to give you a little taste, just like drug dealers, of what you're missing, get you hooked, and then eventually you'll overdose on fentanyl.
Here's a little beauty for me to Uty. Just inhale and sniff. It is aeroplane glue.
Pat, what are you going to talk about today?
Oh, well, you're going to mention that Dylan's not here, though, again? I know you said he was in Mexico, but once again, I'm sitting here with just one of you, as opposed to two of you interrupting me.
I definitely just said that. But yeah, Dylan is gone. That was the impetus of why we're doing
this. But only
one
one of you will be interrupting me, where there's normally two.
Absolutely.
I have mixed feelings about it, as I've mentioned before.
I know. It's like one of those... It's just this love-hate relationship you have with us interrupting. It hardens you, having all these obstacles in front, and makes you a better broadcaster.
Can you imagine doing a broadcast and you have two people constantly trying to trip you up on your words or your thoughts or mocking you, and yet you still get through it, and you are the number one show on the Another Podcast Network? It's
arguably the worst.
What are you looking for?
I know I lost a pen, and I'm pretty sure Dylan took it as his. He always takes my chargers and stuff that I leave here, and my weed pen, and he's like, no, that was mine, and I have no way to prove it. I gotta start putting my name on stuff. But I've never been that person. There's nothing back there except actual ink pens.
Okay.
But I know that's where the stuff that
you guys leave around, I hide behind.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love some weed. Don't have any. But anyways, what do you got for us today?
Go see if there's some chocolate in there that I might have left. I don't know. I might have left a piece in there.
Nah,
you don't want to look for it?
We're fine.
Okay. All right. Now I'm going to start out the show, PMZ. Typically, I stay clear of anything that other podcasts are talking about. I like my own thing. I have my own way of doing things. If it's been mined over mindlessly by other podcasts, it's of no interest to me because there's nothing left. There's no meat to pick off the bone. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I'm different, yeah, I'm different. I'm different, yeah, I'm different.
And I understand that you want to be unique, but I personally don't think there is a problem with talking about subjects that have been talked about on other platforms because we have a unique take on it every time, and we make it different, and we illuminate and make people see things that they wouldn't have otherwise about particular topics. But nonetheless, you are able to talk about shit that no one has thought about in often decades.
Right. Okay, well, yeah, that's true. All right, but this week, this is pretty fresh off the presses here. All right, a couple episodes back, I debuted a new segment called Oversharer of the Week. And my first person was Will Smith, because he's got a book out called Will by Will. How long do you think they spent figuring out what they were going to call that book?
Everything he does is amazing. Will by Will. I like it.
All right, so I have a new segment, but it's not called Overshare of the Week. It's going to be called Overshare of the Year. And once again, I'm featuring Will Smith because he's got a movie he's got to plug. So, of course, he's going to do that in conjunction with the release of a memoir.
Memoir.
And I wasn't quite sure, other than, you got to sell a book to then sell a movie and sell a movie to sell a book. All these things are all kind of intertwined with one another. I get that. But Will is sharing so much in this memoir that I believe he's actually attempting to get what we call in the business, getting out in front of it. You know what I mean by that? Like, why don't I just write about my fake marriage, my sham of a marriage? Why don't I write about it? Therefore, someone like some nanny in a couple years, or maybe one of my children that can't stand me, write a book about their parents. I set everything out front. As embarrassing as it was, I got out in front of it. So what are you going to do to me? You can't hurt me. I got a bulletproof vest now. I owned everything.
I agree that's what he's doing, and it seems to be the new PR move. It used to be like you bury stuff, you put out a statement, you don't acknowledge it otherwise, it'll only get people thinking about it more. But now the tides have turned, and nothing can really be kept secret anymore. Everybody's got screenshots and receipts and everything. So you have to get out in front of it. Otherwise, you look like a coward.
And no one's loyal anymore either. It used to be like your confidant that worked for you as your personal assistant. They'd never say that you were like involved in like being choked or something in some weird bondage sex stuff. Nowadays, you got someone that's worked for you for 15 fucking years. Not only will they sue you later or something, they'll go write a horrible book about you, even if they had an NDA that they signed. They're like, you know what? Fuck it. TMZ will pay me $500,000 for some pictures of you choking yourself and choking your chicken.
And in the interim, until we get there, it's definitely a rocky road, and we're seeing sides of people that we never seen. But ultimately, I think we're approaching the economic concept of perfect information. And eventually, when the singularity is real, there will be no lies, thus no crime, and thus no anything. And hopefully, one day, before we destroy ourselves as a human race, we can reach this part where it's all harmony and we can't do anything wrong because we're being watched all the time.
But yes, Nick, what you bring up is you think that is evolving and progressive. I don't know what take you have on that, but I have to say, really the fun part of life is getting away with shit.
Oh, I've talked many times my love for mischief, and mischief is going away, but you take the good with the bad.
Now, while I like mischief, and I just believe in my heart that probably everybody's done something they're not proud of, or they're living a life that is a lie, I want my A-listers to keep up that
facade.
That facade. I want something to aspire to, something to make me better. When I know Will Smith and Jada have been cheating on each other for 20 years and their kids can't stand them and all this, it's like, I don't want to know that about you. I want to live in the Matrix. Mm-hmm. I want to live in a perfect world, or at least believe that it's attainable. So when Will Smith writes in a book that his son, Jaden, wanted to get emancipated from because his dad suggested he be in that horrible movie After Earth, that seems pretty terrible to me. Your son at 15 said, hey, Dad, you make horrible decisions for me as far as business goes. I want to get emancipated. That seems like a pretty ugly day at the Smith house, if you know what I mean. I don't want to know that. I want to think him and his dad, they love acting together, and that's just a wonderful thing that we can all aspire to. I also don't want to know that when his mother took his dad to court for $114,000 worth of back child support, that Will secretly paid it on his dad's behalf and his mother didn't know about it. I don't want to know that about you. And I also don't want to know that after you have sex with someone and you have an orgasm, you vomit on them. That's one of the more odder omissions he makes in this fucking book. So get this.
So one of the more odd admissions he makes.
When he was 16 years old, after his relationship with his first serious girlfriend, and I guess she cheated on him, he was like a television star, and he already had like the rap career going at this point. He admitted that for a while there, he basically just became kind of a male pig, and he'd have sex with these girls, and he'd throw up, right? And this was too much information for this podcaster.
Now, was the throw up out of like guilt and an emptiness?
He was disgusted with himself. He writes, I'll say what he wrote here. He said, I had so much sex with so many women, and it was so constitutionally disagreeable with my core and my being that I developed a psychosomatic reaction to having an orgasm. It would literally make me gag and sometimes even vomit. He would go on to say that he was looking for love in all the wrong places. And I was thinking, get ready for the sound effect here. Can you imagine being that poor girl under this man? You got an A-lister banging away at you. He's howling away, and you're thinking, hey, I think I'm doing a pretty good job here. Whoa, I'm orgasming, and then this happens. Hey, what the fuck? Will Smith just vomited on me after he came. This would appear to be very confusing for a young lady, I would think.
Yeah, that would probably be extremely scarring. But man, I mean, the guy he's bearing his soul to us, and you know about meaningless sex. I mean, you didn't throw up, but
never.
Were there ever tears?
Never tears. I would feel
after she left.
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Exactly. I never felt that. It's a very odd thing. I guess maybe this would help people to know, hey, I was vomiting on people too for years. And they can go, wow, finally there's another soul out there that used to like upchuck on chicks that you just finished on.
There's 4 people out there who now know they're not complete weirdos, but
I don't like this at all. Will writes that it was only after meeting Jada did he meet a person that fixed the issue. So apparently when he met Jada, all the problems were solved. No more vomiting on her. They had like when they first met, the first 4 months, they'd have sex all day long, day and night, having orgasms. No one was throwing up. And then he leaves this part out of the book, except for the part where you guys then went on to live separate lives for 20 years and bang other people. I thought the point of what stopped the vomiting was the intimacy and the real connection that you had with another human being, but that never actually was realized. So I don't actually figure out what stopped the vomiting.
The memoir by Will Smith is actually just called Will, and it's by Will Smith.
Yeah.
So Will by Will, but the name of the book isn't Will by Will.
No, it's Will by Will.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I was confused. I thought it was Will by Will by Will.
This is what I want to say to Will. Hey, Will, you ever hear of a fucking journal? You don't need to purge all your thoughts to the world. We don't need to know this about you. I've heard there is actually a petition going around that too much information on Will. No more Will. We don't want to know any more about you. Just go act and you're funny. Play pretend in your little movies. We love you on that. Hopefully there's another Men in Black down the pike.
Did you start this petition?
I did not.
Yeah,
I did not. Hey, Little Patties, feel free to submit any celebrity oversharers and I'll feature them on PMZ for you. Mm-hmm.
There's some I know, but I can't think of off the top of my head. But I'm gonna comment in the places that are the Little Patties comment. I'm not gonna tell you directly. So then I'm just like one of them. I'm a Little Patty.
Okay. All right. Let me help some people here. Do I got cue my music here? Mm-hmm. You see, I like to take people on a journey, Nick. I like to help people. I like to make them laugh. I like to make them think. But mainly, I like to help people quite a bit. Okay. It's been a couple weeks, but I haven't been helping people in my fan favorite segment called Ask Patty.
And I'm going to... How are we doing?
You were going to say, Nick?
Just making sure the sound is...
It's only on the left-hand side of my ear, but that's okay. That's all right. This is fine. We'll fix the technical issues after this segment.
I think it's our cord. It's bent, but... I'm definitely going to pay attention during this letter from Ask Patty because oftentimes I didn't smoke weed this time, but I zone out. And then you start talking about your solution. And I'm like, I wish I knew what the problem was.
Well, then listen back to the episode when you're not high.
We put out a lot of content.
Understood. I don't listen to us either.
I used to.
Me too. I'm bored with us.
Sometimes I do, especially for Below Deck or Bachelor for errors and omissions. But when I do listen, I'm just...
Enthralled?
I get so confident what we're doing. We are incredible. But anyways, Pat.
Sure.
Help some people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Dear Patty, I'm a 42-year-old mother of 3 who has been in a relationship with a man for almost 6 years. Oh, there you go. He's incarcerated. I love that show, Love After Lockup, although it fell off a little bit. We started out as friends. Things were great until this year when he reconnected with an old girlfriend. I had a conversation with her over Facebook, and she wanted to invite me out for coffee one day. I ended up messaging her later that night, and she told my boyfriend I had made her uncomfortable. She ended up blocking me on Facebook.
I did it again.
What did you weren't paying attention?
Yeah, the one of your... What happened?
Okay, so one of the Little Patties writes in, she's got 3 kids, and she's been dating a guy who's in prison for 6 years.
Gotcha.
But now he's kind of reconnected with an old girlfriend, and now that's his new girlfriend.
And he's still in prison?
Yeah, he's still in prison.
Okay, got it.
Patty, he's now saying he's in love with the both of us. I'm not allowed to talk about it. And anything they talk about is none of my business, says him. I do not get as many phone calls from him anymore as I used to, and I think it's because of her. I'm not sure what her plans are, but I get the feeling she's trying to get me out of the picture. Please tell me what to do, Patty. Crowded in Alaska.
I like the irony in their name.
All right, this is pretty straightforward. I want you to pull out that phone book off your shelf, turn to the page with the letter C, drag your little finger down to the Child Protective Services, and call them because they need to speak with you because you're an insane person. Not only are you dating someone that makes mixed cocktails with toilet water, but you've chosen someone who, despite being in a cage with limited ability to communicate with the outside world, has found a way to cheat on you. Which means you have a bad picker, which is not independent of the other aspects of your life. In other words, your life is in chaos. I highly recommend you give your kids to Madonna or Angelina Jolie right now. Mm-hmm.
Angelina will only take them if there's some shade of brown, but good solution. I am just shocked that this man, despite being incarcerated, was so incredibly honest with her. I feel like he could have gotten away with it scot-free. This guy is my oversharer of the week.
Do you watch Love After Lockup? It's on Friday nights on like the Wii channel.
The only thing I watch reality TV-wise is stuff I can monetize, so no, I do not.
Understood. It was a show that used to be great, and then it just got very sad and cooked. They start having people that were on a season, and you love it when the guy walks out of the jail and the girlfriend picks him up, and then they can't even wait to get back to the rundown hotel to enter one another. They just pull over off the side of the road, or on a few occasions they go out in the woods and just start pounding away at one another.
I'm getting aroused.
And then you might be surprised by this, but it doesn't work out.
Shocking.
And then in many cases, the person goes back to jail just weeks later. Anyway, you can cut the music there, Nikki.
That was only one person? We're only helping one person?
That's it. I try and spread it around a little bit because I got other things I want to move on to. Because I like to make this like a journey for the listeners. I don't like them to feel like, oh, he's going to do this for 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. I mean, it is a journey. I'm on a journey.
And this is going to be, my next segment is going to be just a real quick one. Every once in a while, I like to just keep things brief, but this one's going to be fun. It's back to, what the hell ever happened to that girl? Are you guys fans of the horror film The Ring? It was a pretty popular movie back in 2002. It had one of the dumbest plots ever. The plot. This was it. Nikki, are you familiar with The Ring?
I am. I actually, maybe it's my memory, but I liked it. It was just scary. That girl was scary.
Okay. That was called, she was dubbed, the character of the little girl was like Saman whatever, like some weird, but the fans of the film called her Demon Girl. Okay. So here was the plot.
7 days.
If you watched a VHS tape with this little girl, Demon Girl, coming out of a well, you had 7 days to live. The demon would find you. I don't care if you were fucking buried in a submarine in the Arctic Ocean. Demon Girl would kill you somehow.
Break the tape in half, movie over.
Exactly. So stupid. And the movie, it had a sequel too, never answered any questions. It's like some stoner that wrote it, like came up with some premise and they like, go for it. But it doesn't answer any questions. It doesn't matter.
It's like Cece and his wife coming up with that shit hypothetical, no kneecaps or no thumbs. Lay off the weed, Renz.
Oh, I thought that was you. Who put out the
I put out the poll because we talked about the poll. You thought that was me? That was them. We made fun of him and his wife for being high.
Oh, that's right. I was high on chocolates.
I called it a hack hypothetical.
And didn't you like my hypothetical? Would you let someone bang your wife for $1 million?
And that was something we didn't plan. It became the name of the episode. It was a great, great hypothetical. We'd love to hear you guys out there free feed. How much would it cost for you to allow, in agreement, in conjunction with your significant other, to have someone have sex with them? How much would you need to be paid? Please let us know in the comments.
Please let us know. Good. I like that. I like to get lots of comments in my show.
I didn't even, on that episode, in Deece's proposal, didn't even ask for comments. And just people, hero.
Flooded.
He's a hero.
Flooded.
He's a hero. Because I'm a hero.
You are a hero, Dickie.
I have an Arizona Missions for that story, but it's not going to be till the next Patreon-only episode, which you can get, patreon.com/another podcast network, which you can also get a plethora of PMZs only on our $10 attack cost.
But then also for $5, you get all our APSs and Love and Blind and all that other stuff.
Flavor of Love.
Okay.
So much content. We're prolific.
Now, so Demon Girl here, I'm going to play a little bit of the trailer, like maybe like the first 30 seconds, just so you can see Demon Girl, because we're going to catch up what she's up to. Okay, why don't we play the trailer for The Ring?
You're not real! You're not real.
Is this a new one or the old one?
This is the old one.
Come on, we gotta get up.
No, this is called
Thinking
Rings.
about this story. There's this video that kills you 7 days after you watch it.
Pat, I gotta ask,
Oh.
are you trying to watch the original trailer? Because this is called Rings.
That's the same premise. You watch a little girl climb out of a fucking well. You
Okay.
never really see her face. I'm going to get to whoever was the original girl that played the demon girl. Here, play her coming out of the well just so people know what I'm talking about.
Got you. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was
What's up?
about the trailer, so I was like,
Oh, yeah, no.
The second it's over, the phone rings. And this voice says,
That's when she's coming for me.
You want to know?
Oh, so this is probably a remake. Anyway, that's fine. So Demon Girl is the scary little girl that climbs out of the well.
they showed it for like a half second, about minute 30.
They
or
did.
Second 30 seconds.
Well,
I don't know.
audience loved Demon Girl back in 2003 after the film came out, and she was awarded Best Villain at the MTV Movie Awards.
One of the most prestigious awards for villains.
Absolutely. So Demon Girl was played by actress/model DeVay Chase. Would you like to know what she's up to now?
I would like to know what the hell she's up to now.
Well, you're about to find out. And this, by the way, when you hear this about what someone's up to, it's not good. In August of 2019, she was taken into custody for possession of a controlled substance for which she spent 2 hours in jail cell before being released on a $1,000 bond. A judge issued a warrant for her arrest on November 2019 when she was officially charged with two misdemeanor charges: possession of controlled substance without a valid prescription and possession of drug paraphernalia. In 2017, she had a felony charge after she allegedly stole a car for a joyride. She was charged with felony driving without the owner's consent in that incident. 10 months prior, Chase was detained by LAPD detectives after she allegedly left a dying man in a car outside of a hospital. Police ran her name and discovered an outstanding misdemeanor traffic warrant out for her, leading to her arrest. The man in the car, by the way, was pronounced dead of a suspected overdose. Chase was named as the suspect of the death. So things aren't going great for Demon Girl. I hope she's doing the work.
I think she got too invested in her role as the Demon Girl. It's like Heath Ledger, you know, he became the Joker. She was probably just hiding in people's wells, trying to kill them.
Because there were drugs down there. There was some meth down there. She needed it.
Was she ever in anything else? Or was this?
Yeah, pretty much nothing. She did like a couple small, like where you'll show up on Big Bang Theory or something like that. Oof, it doesn't go well for these people. That's why I like taking these deep dives. I'll go like, hey, I remember that movie, The Ring, and I'll go, I wonder what that person's up to. Well, it's not going good. And if you look for her Instagram, she hasn't made a post since 2017. So we don't know where she is. Again, I hope she's in an AA meeting near her and she's doing the work.
This is going back. Was this the last PMZ when we talked about Tiffany?
Yeah.
What was her last name?
Tiffany
Tunes. Tiffany Tunes. So after our episode, I was gonna try to surprise you guys with a surprise guest, Tiffany.
A cameo?
Yeah. No, not a cameo.
Right.
I was trying to get her on. No, I was trying to get her on the show.
Oh, nice.
She has yet to read my DMs. Evidently, she's just getting blown up. But this is my DM to Tiffany. Mm-hmm. I said, "Hey, Tiffany, I do a podcast with two friends, and while all of us are Tiffany fans, one of us, Pat, is a all caps massive Tiffany fan. I would love to surprise him for his birthday and get you on for a short 10-minute Zoom interview. We get about 10,000 listeners/views per episode. We'd promote anything you like. Let me know if you're interested, and we'll figure out a date. Thank you so much." I really thought I was going to present us with Tiffany. I'm still holding out that I might.
You can tell that she didn't read that, huh?
Yeah.
So we still have a chance.
We still have a chance, but...
she was probably busy this week just popping pills and drinking.
But that Tiffany segment was awesome because I was like, there's no way she explodes like the guy from Smash Mouth did.
No.
But in fact, she did.
Guys, this is my hit. I've been singing it right. Look out the way.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So if anybody has washed up superstars still performing in smaller venues and then snapping at the crowd, that's my favorite PMZ segment. So send them Patty.
Send them my way. I'll feature them on, boy, that's sad. Okay. Now, the next segment's called Pat Doesn't Get It. Okay. That's the new segment, by the way. Aren't you excited?
Yeah, we need start having theme songs, but we need a full-time composer.
Well,
you put out a lot of segments.
Some admissions are coming in now for that intern position, so we might make that happen. All right, Patty doesn't get it. All right, this is kind of hack, but who cares? I don't understand Taylor Swift nor her success. I know I'm alone in this. I know I think I'm the old guy. But get this. I've always felt that she sucked. And when she first started 15 years ago, I was still considered a young person.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Okay? So I was still in it. I understood pop culture. I was still, someone wouldn't have said, hey, old guy, or Dylan wouldn't have said, hey, Gran Torino, you're not supposed to like Taylor Swift. She's too young for you. You're old. You don't know anything. All right.
I've been on record many times as referring to her as a giant marionette puppet. Mm-hmm. She has these long, hingy limbs that look like she doesn't have control of. That being said, I am somewhat of a Swiftie. Her music is good. They're bops, anthems, and classics.
Okay, fair enough. Well,
ABCs.
I don't know if you knew this, Nick, but
shout out Anus Boys.
Taylor Swift has reached another milestone in her music career. This week, and as per usual arrangement, she will let everyone know about it. Taylor Swift sends flowers to Don McLean after beating the song American Pie for the longest ever #1 hit. Now, not the longest running #1 hit, the longest song. We're talking like Stairway to Heaven or, again, American Pie, which I think was like 8 minutes long.
And 44 seconds.
Her new piece of crap song is over 10 minutes, I think. So Don McLean called Taylor Swift a class act while thanking the pop star for her gracious gift on Instagram. Taylor Swift is topping the charts with grace. The Grammy winner 31 sent Don McLean a beautiful bouquet of flowers and a special note after her song All Too Well topped American Pie as the longest song to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
One of the most prestigious awards for long songs.
Oh, you're telling me. What a class act. Thank you, Taylor Swift, for the flowers. McLean wrote, he's 76 here. He's 76 years old now, along with a photo of him posing with the gift on Instagram. American Pie, which hit #1 in 1971's release, runs 8 minutes and 42 seconds long. All Too Well, Taylor's song, clocks in at 10 minutes and 13 seconds. I think the longest rope on a porn set is more of an accomplishment than this, but that's just me. Last week, McLean congratulated, all right, get this, the devil's in the words here. Last week, McLean congratulated Swift for her accomplishment in a statement shared on his website. There is something to be said for a great song that has staying power, the artist wrote. The devil is in the details. Notice the last line in that statement. It's a little shade, and Taylor is too dumb to note, and most of us just reading that says, oh, I think he's complimenting her. That song, her dumb song, has been around for 3 weeks. His has been around for 50 years. So when he's saying staying power, his song is still being played on the radio constantly, being used in TV and movie ads and all that, and played at weddings, and it's been around for 50 years, and it's still here today. Her song being 3 years old, when he said, and I quote,
3 weeks.
There's something to be said for a great song that has staying power. He's referring to his own song, not hers, you idiot. Well, why don't you do this? Let's play her song, just a clip, please. And by the way, we can't have this on the video because Taylor Swift's people will try and take our money away.
So if you are listening to this on the video, go to our free podcast feed, either Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or one of those third-party independent ones, and you can hear us play a little bit of Taylor Swift's All Too Well, the short film.
Now, right before you play this, don't play the short film. You got to cut to like 5 minutes into this goddamn video before you actually hear her boring song.
It's 6 minutes and 25 seconds into it.
Taylor has managed to write a long, boring song, and it will have a short-lived time on the charts, and then it will fade into the abyss of music obscurity. Do you think this song will be played at baseball games in 5 years?
We dance around the kitchen in the refrigerator light down the stairs. I was there, I remember it all too well. Yeah.
Okay, you can stop it. Or will this, in 20 years, still being played at weddings, ball games, on the radio? You'll hear it in whatever teenage movie, rom-com or something. Or this song. the answer to the question, what's going to be played at a wedding or radio on radio or whatever in 20 years? Will it be Taylor Swift's song?
Or Nick's first grade concert.
This one, John McClane?
We sang, bye, bye, Miss American Pie. I don't think we knew what it was about.
You don't need to. It's wonderful. I don't like any song that's 8 minutes, by the way, including that Stairway to Heaven thing. But this song is enduring, and that song, her song, will not be around anymore. So we have the answer.
It's endearing and enduring. Both of those things. Thank
you. That's Pat doesn't understand this. Let me know what you think about the segment. And if Pat's Gran Torino, I'm too old and I don't understand this.
My quick thoughts on it, I agree with you that in particular Taylor Swift song isn't, and I couldn't name you the ones that will be, but I think some of hers they're nothing like that. Mm-hmm. I will say nothing like that. American Pie, it's incredible. It's going to be played forever. I sang it at my first grade concert, spring concert. But I liked Taylor Swift, and you're gonna fucking really piss off the Swifties.
No, I hope not. All right, last segment of PMZ. Let's catch up with my enemies and any new people out here that don't know what this segment is. I go out there and I track down podcasts that are illegitimate. People that shouldn't be doing a podcast, and then I have my Little Patties. That's my little group of the fans out there, and we destroy those podcasts, and we do it rightfully so. So I want to catch up to just a couple quick ones, just because we've been they've been on. We haven't been trying to destroy them. We're just keeping track of their progress. So Olivia Jade. Conversations with Olivia Jade. That's the girl who faked like she was a rower, and then both her parents went to jail. She does a podcast. It's 6 episodes. Well, she hasn't done one in 2.5 weeks. So I think we can smell that carcass on that pod. That pod is dead. But we will continue to check in on Olivia Jade's progress with Conversations with Olivia Jade. By the way, lots of haters out there. She's got like a 3-star rating on that thing. She's either loved 1 stars or 5 stars of haters.
Or they're all 3 stars.
Oh, they're not. I looked at it.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And then we're going to catch up with How You Living with Jay Piven, a podcast by Jeremy Piven. I'm okay with Piven. I gave him shit in the beginning, but this is how I feel about it. He does his show. He's generally interested in putting out the show, and he consistently posts it. He hasn't missed a single week since he did it. So I think I'm going to leave him alone. I'm going to let Jeremy do what he does. I do think that when his A-list guests come on to do the pod, he should let them know that if they did the interview in an Uber ride, there'd be more listeners. He owes that to somebody that's an A-lister driving over across town to sit down for an hour and talk with him, that absolutely nobody will be listening to it. But who cares? He's having fun. I'm okay with it.
And also maybe stop breaking up the A-list ones into 2 episodes to squeeze out the juice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I find he's got like a little thing going. He's already like used his black book of like A-list friends, and now he's dipping into the UFC world, and then he occasionally then goes back into the Entourage world.
And that is a common thing with many podcasters who have, like you said, a certain Rolodex of people that they can go through. They're like, I'll just have my friends on. That dries up in about 7 weeks. Mm-hmm. You'll get a couple of them. Most of them will put you off because you're another fly-by-night podcast, and then you have to start asking publicists, and they'll send you the seventh lead from Succession.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or Jordan Belfort.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He'll show up to anything.
We should get him in here just as a joke.
All right. I'm tasking you with this.
I will.
Please do.
Let's see if
awesome. We'll have him on.
Only in studio, though. That's how we're gonna draw a line in the sand.
Okay.
That'll be funny.
All right. Lastly, let's catch up with our real enemy. And let me just do this for the Little Patties. Little Patties, I'm going to say this. I'm proud of you and the forward progress we've accomplished in our movement this week. We absolutely sent a message to the podcast Hollywood Ways that we mean business, and in doing so, driving their podcast rating up to a 4.7, all the while confusing and confounding them. I'll remind the audience or new listeners, I basically told the Little Patties last week, we're going to hit that Hollywood Ways apples and podcast thing, and we're going to give them 5 stars because they had 180 reviews. I believe currently they have almost 210. So we've
211.
Oh wow, they're still coming in. We've upped their score, right?
What was he before? Because it's back to 4.5.
Oh, it is. Oh, the Little Patties better not be given nosediving with 5s in there. I'll say that. there was a little Patty, literally a little Patty, that came in and criticized me doing this to another podcast. They thought it was beneath me. And it absolutely isn't, Patty. Okay? There's a reason I do this. Okay? And it's an important thing. The podcasts that we've destroyed so far, and let me name them. Pitbull's a negative to a positive. We took him out. Kelly Osbourne and that gross club promoter. We took him out. JPJ, Jibber Jabber with JPJ.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
We destroyed them. What do those 3 podcasts have in common?
Undeniable talents at the helm.
None of them are truly into it. They don't have their hearts into podcasting. They have other shit they're passionate for, and this definitely isn't. For Pitbull, it's touring with that music that he does while wearing a suit.
Being Mr. Worldwide.
For Kelly Osbourne, it's waking up late and watching TV.
Her papa not preaching at her.
For JPJ, it was pursuing an acting career. I follow him on Instagram. He's constantly posting being on a set. That's what he wanted to do. But once these people were able to engage in their true passions, they dropped podcasting like a bad habit. Almost as though they were never really into it and they were just killing time until their passion came up. Now, Hollywood Ways. This is going to be interesting for the audience. I believe Doug's heart is into it. I believe my problem is he's not being his authentic self. I sniffed this out almost immediately. I believe anybody who listens to him in this horrible show feels like he's pandering because it's palpable. Now, did you know that we've gone 3 weeks without having Breezy on the show as a co-host?
Wow.
Where is she? Well, I'll tell you where she is because he mentions it at the top of each show when she's not going to be there. He's back filming a TV show. Now, I want to say this. They do a show once a week for 45 minutes. Breezy's too busy to call in with this busy filming schedule to be the co-host. Let me tell you, if someone gave me $250 of free advertising for a podcast that I was going to be on it, or you, Nick, or Dilly, wouldn't we put our best foot forward? Wouldn't we show up? We'd find a way, even if we had to record at 10 o'clock at night on a Tuesday, to put out said podcast?
I think Doug does a great job.
Mm-hmm. But Breezy does.
Breezy does too.
We have thousands of podcasts that are far better than what these 2 idiots are putting out there. And they got the advantage to get all that free advertising. And Breezy can't show up to do a show.
I'm nervous.
That's why we do what we do here. We expose all the hacky frauds. They're stinking up the place. And that's why we did what we did to Doug. Now, I'm moving Doug out of the destroy category for us and Breezy and moving them to we're monitoring their progress. Well done, Little Patties. I think the message was sent this week. We gave them now over 33 reviews, all 5-star, but we let them know, and I'm going to name all of you because unlike Breezy and Doug promising us we could see restaurants and hear about where we should eat, I'm a man that keeps my word. So you can turn it off if you want, but I'm going to end PMZ with a shout out with a Little Patty roll call. Here's a roll call of who left reviews. O'Brien 13. That was a beautiful tale you weaved in that review. Dr. Leo Spaceman, you are the man. Crims, NGHOS 158. Hilarious. Devin 628. Nice APN puzzle. I asked them to put the APN thing in there. Really fun.
Do you think that was JPJ's, Devin?
Oh, that'd be funny if it was. Sama Bells 123. Like the whiskey dick comment. Super funny. CC Suncat. Patty loves you. Stinky AHNKE. Everything is better with an AZ. That's right, it is. I'm sorry, with a Z. With a Z. Everything's better with a Z. That's a callback to one of my jokes. At least you aren't The Rock. You get the winner of the best name for your Apple Podcast name. Love Irvine. You stuck it to the Breezy. Camille, you know you're my girl. Wine Hag Forever. You know you're my girl. Kat Peterson, you my girl. Elena Liana, you are my girl. I heard you had it out with Nick this week. Georgie Lou, you my girl. Scarlet Witch 97, they better know who Pat is. Laura G, Too Little Too Late. Nice. Jennifer White, where should I eat? That's hilarious. I hope Doug and Breezy get the picture. Don't mess with people that really want to do this business. You don't belong in it. And I hope it works out for you, Doug. But for now, the Little Patties are done. Our work is finished here.
And also, you're welcome because all these 5-star reviews.
Yeah. 5-star reviews. Can you imagine that happening to us?
There was someone who didn't go by the directive and they're like, oh, I gave a 3-star review. Please don't do that.
Yes.
Because
I believe that was Camille. Camille, you know better.
Camille, change it to a 5-star, please.
Please.
We appreciate it. I understand. You know that's what would get under our skin if we got a 3-star review, but we just don't. We just want to send a message without hurting them.
We want them to hurt themselves. All right, that's
or
it.
improve. We're actually it's a exercise in helping people better themselves.
Yes.
But yeah, that's it. Awesome. Great show, Pat.
All right, I'm gonna go home now.
Me too. Bump.
Bump.
And like I said, if you want to hear this show every week, go to patreon.com/another podcast network and sign up for the Attack Hawk tier. Pat does this all the week, and Dylan helps me interrupt. I don't know if I did a good job interrupting.
Yeah, no, you did a good job.
Okay, cool. Goodbye. Bum.
Bump.